Welcome, welcome, welcome to Garnetqueentarot, where we are inspired to rise. How are my wonderful, wonderful Sagittarius family doing? I hope all is well. Seems like we haven't talked in forever. Listen, before we even get started, and I'm sorry, welcome visitors, cross watchers. Thank you for stopping by the channel. Before we get started, we always have to practice our breathing routine. It helps to clear our energy and our space and keep us focused on what it is we're seeking answers to. It helps to reveal so much. So we inhale, exhale twice, and then we shake it off. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And we shake it off. Leave all that tension outside the door. We don't travel with it. It's not part of our luggage. It's baggage, but not ours. We toss it outside when we're coming in to our sacred realm. Spirits talk to our Sagittarius family. Help them to reveal answers that are meant for them. Help them to focus on the questions they need answers to. Help them to envision their goals and dreams and grasp it and keep working toward it. Most importantly, help them to recognize and listen to their intuition and do what's important for them to continue to elevate. Please speak to us. Reveal the messages meant for our Sagittarius family. Ooh, that card popped out right away. What is this? Knight of Cups. Ooh, Knight of Wands. Wow. Ace of Cups. The Fool. The Hierophant. And the Four of Wands. Wow. Wow. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, Sagittarius, you are on the way to celebrate. Look at the last card. Just pure celebration. Celebration. And you're also learning and teaching. You're going through the process right now. This is process time, transformation time. But it's also you really getting in tune with your intuition. Because it's like, when you're working towards something and you just keep going until things start to fall in place. You're going through intentional actions right now. I don't see any tension here. It's about expressing yourself. It's about learning. It's about diving in to what's important to you. And you're in tune. You're optimistic. You're looking at ideas that are coming forth for you and working on implementing them because you know that something is going to stick. It's like throwing the whole kitchen sink at everything and hoping something sticks. But what happens is you actually have a plan of action. You've gone around the mulberry bush trying to figure things out. And that's how come you end up becoming in the Hierophant, in the teaching mode, in acknowledging your gifts and working on your craft, building your skills so you could continue going through. And you recognize that if you don't stay positive and you don't stay focused, you're not going to achieve what you set for yourself. It won't be attainable for you if you don't stay fixated on the prize. On the prize. I was watching on one of the shorts, and it was showing this USA won in one of those races, and they said they surprised Jamaica. But the thing is, when you Like Diddy always say, you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. You know, when he had the four, and it was like, he said, eat, 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 eat. This is the motion. These are the actions that you are taking right now because you're looking at the big picture. And that's what I love about you. You're looking at the big picture. You're looking at achieving certain things and you want to eat. You want to eat, 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 eat. That's what they're saying for you. You want to eat because you know what? You've fallen short a lot of times and you beat yourself up for it. But you know what I like? I like even when you look here and you see the dove on top. The dove is representing solace, serenity, and peace. And that's what you've been seeking in your life. You want that calmness. You want the options before you. You want to be focused. You're ambitious. You're optimistic. And you're yearning to eat more because you see yourself achieving more. So now you're not so reluctant to go the extra mile to accomplishing and getting what you want because you see that things are starting to manifest. Because in the end, we know what you're going to do. You're going to celebrate. We know that you're looking forward to the future. We know that there's a little fear building up in you because you have to tackle things. You can't sit on the sidelines hoping that all will fall in place, hoping that your source will bring you through. You have to actually go through the motions and recognize every skill that you have and applying it. This is where the work comes in for you. This is when you recognize that, hey, I've gone through some things, but I'm better for it. I'm rising because of it. And you feeling good about yourself. You feeling like the time is coming now for you. You know, you've seen everybody else play the math trick and multiply. Whereas sometimes you feel like you're always subtracting. But you know what? You're going to pass the math exam. You're going to pass the exam. Because when others give up, you stay strong. You stay strong. You don't allow the issues that come about to keep you down, tear you down, and make you feel like, I'll never get this. You know that everything takes hard work and it doesn't pan out immediately. You've been there. You failed at things. You know how to get through. And as long as you continue to believe and keep working towards the main goal, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay because right now, there's an urgency, a sense of urgency for you where you're saying, you know what? I need this to happen for me now. I need to gain the clarity and understanding now. I'm tired. It's like an emotional whirlwind where it's back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. You want to go the distance and you become so frustrated with the status quo. But what I will say to you is that if you don't continue to pick up the pieces and keep going, you're going to get stuck. There's no time to dwell. There's no time to feel, woe is me. It's a time to pick up on the signs and keep moving. You're allowing your emotions, I should say, to engulf your way of thinking and make you feel that your lackings and shortcomings can't be revived when they can. You are in a learning process. That's why you're learning and you're growing and you're teaching and you're recognizing. You know, you recognize the fact that everything may not fall in line, but as a leader like you are, you're going to be able to figure it out because of your intentional actions. You're on the go. You're moving. You're making things happen. You're not going to take no for an answer. People are coming at you all cross-eyed, and you always got to pay attention to them and what they're doing because they could ruin things for you. You notice that everybody doesn't have the skills that you have. Sagittarius, life will take you by storm. And if you don't have your umbrella, you're going to get soaked. That's what I'm going to say to you. Because you have so many questions that you're afraid to ask. Why? It's not about you appeasing other people. It's about you growing and learning. Why do you think we spend so much time, years in school, learning how to adapt, learning to be flexible, learning to apply, learning to multiply, learning to subtract? Some exams you pass straight up right away. And some exams you got to work through it and practice and practice and practice until, and study and study and study until you grasp the whole concept. And that's how it is moving through life. You have to be able to grasp the whole concept. And it doesn't have to be all at once. It just has to be you acknowledging the fact that you don't have all the answers. Just because somebody says something to you and they think it's right doesn't mean that it is. If you're working on a project and you're trying to accumulate and grow, and sometimes there's little hiccups along the way, are you someone that's quick to give up? Think about it. When things don't pan out, how do you calm yourself down? Do you get upset? Do you give up? Do you walk away? Or do you start breathing? I know a lot of you start breathing just so you can release that tension and start again. And you will research. You will learn. It may not be as quick as your neighbor next door, but it's going to be at your pace. Your emotions are involved right now because something may not have panned out or balanced out the way you wanted it to, but it's still on the table to achieve. So working through things is part of the process. That's where you learn and realize, I don't have all the answers. I'm going to put the work in and I'm going to do what needs to be done. But I'm not going to give up on myself. How could people support me if I don't support myself? That's why you get in the mode where you're thinking things through. You're seeing which is the best route to take. Where can I learn the skills that I need to get to the next level? When you see a construction worker working and they're building bridges and fixing roads, they've already been given instructions as to what they need to do. Now it's up to them to achieve it. You know what it is you're seeking. You know what it is you want. You've been given the assignment. So now you have to decipher it and break it down so that you could figure out, how do you keep moving forward? Okay. Like somebody, let's say you have somebody that's learning how to work a coffee machine. They keep trying this, trying that, and it's not working. So then somebody comes and gives them the book with instructions on how to make their cappuccino, their cafe, latte, everything work in that machine. And they practice different things and they're figuring, okay, let me try it this way. Okay, it didn't work that way. Let me try it this way. All right, it didn't work that way. And then you try it again. And you finally get it to work the way it's supposed to. You see all the instructions. So you already envision in your mind what you're about to drink. You say, I want a nice cappuccino, light on the milk, but no sugar needed. But I'm going to enjoy that cappuccino because I just hooked up the machine to make it for me. And what did you need in order to do that? Because you failed a couple times, right? You need patience. You need focus. You need to keep moving forward so you could get that cup of cappuccino. But if you gave up before you kept, applying and applying what it is you were reading and following the instructions and getting it right, that's how your life is. Every level being a step up, you have to be able to apply yourself. You have to be able to see the possibilities of what can be. Even though you know some people got it done a little bit quicker than you. Oh well, oh well. You're not here for speed, you're here for growth. You want it to happen fast. It's like planting a seed and you're looking at it every day to see if it's going to grow. You have to do the work and then go back to work. Do the work, apply the work, and then get back to work until it manifests into what you envisioned, what you saw with your own eyes, and recognize that as long as I continue and I put the work in, things could happen for me. Things could happen for you if you stay true. That is the truth. Things could definitely happen for you. And it's you know that you're putting the work in. You know that you're putting the time in. It's just that sometimes so much time has passed and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. But that's not true. So even in the beginning, if you just wanted to get things lined up, your emotions are high, and you just keep seeing that more work is needed, but you're not seeing the growth because you're focusing on achieving a certain level in your life. And when you're focused on that, time will go so quickly. But if you focus on, oh, I'm not going to get through, oh, I'm going to fail, then you shall. But you don't want that. You want to know that your ordered steps are taking you to the next level. And when you're going through transformation, everything is changing. Everything that you know is changing. And you have to be flexible. You have to be patient. You have to learn the right way to do things. This is a learning curve. This is a learning process. And when you start getting aligned and in tune with yourself, you feel this sense of adventure, of freedom, of accomplishment. Because when you stop now to reflect and you see what's going on, you realize you're further along than you even thought. But because you were so dwelling on what didn't work out, what happened, who backstabbed you, who was looking at you funny, who was talking about you, stop. Stop. Stop worrying about them folks. You on a mission right now. You on a mission to your greatness. And you putting that work in. And you're developing your skills. And you're listening to your intuition. So you must be patient. Everything doesn't happen overnight like magic. But when you finally get through it, it seems like it's magic. Somebody might say to you, you lucky. You got your stuff together. They have no idea what you've been through, what you have been through. It's just funny to me because when you're on your grind, even though people come at you funny, you still continue. Even when people can't tell you can't do it, yeah, some doubt seeps in, but you still keep moving forward. You know what that's called? Intentional action, because you have a plan of action and you're taking action. You're moving with action. And then you stop. And this is when you have that free spirit flowing and you realize, wow. You do the Steve Urkel. Did I do that? Did I do that? Yes, you did it. You did it. You did it. And you got to stop and pat yourself on the back and say, you know what? No matter what, I'm true to myself. I'm true to my goals. I take on my assignments with dignity and pride. And I work through the storms. Got my my umbrella. I have my rain boots, my raincoat. And as you continue to forge through the storm, you realize and you start feeling good about yourself. You start realizing that through it all, your faith, your commitment is what's holding your hand and helping to carry. Your source is talking to you and saying, hey, hey, Sagittarius, you're going to be all right. I know. I know it's exhausting and frustrating and overwhelming at times. But because no matter what, your eyes have always been on the prize. You're so close. You're so close. And because you're learning and picking up information along the way, you start being more faithful to yourself and committing to yourself, praying to your source and asking for direction. But the thing that's really good is you're starting to answer your own questions. That is a beautiful thing. When you start being able to hear yourself, oh my goodness, to hear yourself, to hear yourself, you have no idea the great things on your path. You think you're just going to get, you see, that's why they tell you the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Because if you continue to listen to your intuition, you'll pick up clues along the way. You'll recognize yourself for all the things that you do and have done. It's beautiful. It's beautiful because I don't think we recognize how much we've learned on our path. I mean, even little kids, when you think about it, they look forward to a lot of things in life and they focus on it. You know, mommy and daddy said they're taking me to, great adventure, but I got to keep my room clean and I got to do well in school and pass my tests and study. And you know what? What do? They do just that because they're focused on what it is they're wanting. So when you disappoint them, they feel like you let them down. They feel like you let them down because to them it's important the things that are promised to them that they're working toward. It's like it's mm, you know what is the biggest word? Passion. You have passion for what it is you're seeking. And that's what the kids have. Passion. Passion. When you lose that passion in your life, when you lose what it is you're working toward, it just becomes another task with no true meaning to it. Gotta go back to the drawing board. Gotta do this. You gotta pick it up. You moving with speed now. Sagittarius, you're applying yourself 100%. You're working with speed because you believe that you can achieve. I know it sounds repetitive, but let me tell you something. When you start getting drained and you're applying yourself, and things may not work out, it makes you doubt yourself. So this whole upper level is about you recognizing your potential and continuing to believe and move forward. The ideas that you have, the experience that you've gained has opened the windows of opportunity for you to keep going and growing, right? So when you look at things and you see your input, you see what you've been putting in, you start to see the big picture now. But when you're going through the process, you got to practice your breathing. You got to have patience. You have to believe in what it is you're working toward. And you have to envision yourself arriving at your destination. It's time consuming, overwhelming, but it's needed to get through. Some folks want to get an easy ride and things just fall in their lap. That has not happened for you. You have to work for everything that you have. And when your rewards and your abundance comes in, you know you earned that. You earned it. But you got to continue to believe in it. because you are not paying attention to the distance of how far you've already come. You're just seeing things right now, but you're not seeing the things of what could be. You have stumbled, you have fallen, but you have gotten back up. Remember, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. And this journey that you're on right now is a teaching journey. There's so much hope and optimism and action behind words. Your faith without works is dead. Don't just hope, do. Don't just hope, do. This is your time right now. This is your time to achieve your greatness and fulfill your desires. And as long as you stay true and continue to persevere, miracles will be uncovered for you. You will know, started from the bottom, now I'm here. I told everybody at the start of this year that there was so much transformational change going on because people are frustrated. They don't want life the same old, same old. And you're the same way, Sagittarius. You feel restricted. You feel confined. You feel like all you do is work and go home, work and go home. But now you're realizing that your work is starting to pay off because you've already envisioned what it is you want. Now you have to apply your skills to it to achieve it. And that's when your mindset has to be fixated on accomplishing your goals and dreams, putting the work in, teaching yourself how to be more patient, how to accept praise for things that you accomplish, how to pat yourself on the back. When is the last time you even attempted to pat yourself on the back? Sometimes you're going through stuff and people don't even know because you don't want everybody in your business. And you have a strong ego and you have pride. But you do ask for help when you need it. It'll take you a minute, but when you realize that you can't go any further because of your limitations, that's when you give yourself the right to ask for help and to be patient with yourself. Because the work involved to get to where you want is going to pay off in the end. Look at this celebration. Look at this joy. Look at this happiness. That's when they go, hip, hip, hooray, hip, hip, hooray, hip, hip, hooray. You're going to come out smelling good. I'm not even going to say a rose. I'm saying good. You're going to come out smelling good because as you're starting to understand things better and gain that clarity, you're realizing how important focus is. It's like you're being taught how to be flexible with change, how to look at the big picture and not limit your way of thinking or your perspective. Is to see the bigger picture. It's to open your heart and be vulnerable because it's a lot of blessings coming your way. I see you calm. I see joy. I see celebration. I see optimism. I see intentional action behind your words. I see you blocking your ears from people that don't get it. They just don't get it. And what I will always tell you, Sagittarius, when you focus on your dreams and you make them real, real enough that you start seeing them every day, and you realize that it's closer than you thought, and you start getting closer to touching it, and focus on what it is you're seeking and how you have to change your way of thinking, how you have to see yourself beyond the here and now. Easier said than done, but let me tell you something. When you apply yourself and you could see and reap the rewards, that's when everything will come into clear vision. Clear vision. It's like when you're working towards something. Like, let me tell you something. My daughter wanted this vehicle. I think it was a Scion. And she was like, oh, I'm not going to see that many Scions. I might be the only person with it. And every day, she's like, Mom, I saw a Scion. Mom, there was a really hooked up, Scion. Mom, I'm going to get it. And she kept saying, she says, I'm going to write it in my book. I make my kids write down their ideas and their hopes and dreams in their book so they can manifest on it and get that feeling and help bring it into fruition because they believe. And that's what I'm saying to you. Sometimes you don't see a way, but there's a way. But until you get it lined up with yourself and your intuition, it'll seem like a dream. But it's beyond that dream. It's about accepting responsibility for things you cannot change. You have the mindset of accomplishment, of achievement, of forging forward. And when people crack jokes or they act like you can't arrive at your destination, you become more in tune with yourself and you start to pick up on the different vibrations, good vibes only. When you leave that negativity outside the door that's been blocking your ears and causing havoc in your life, and you gain knowledge and you refocus and apply yourself accordingly, things will change in your life. You're at full speed here because you've been picking up a lot. So like the second row is showing where you relax, you feel comfortable, you're spreading your wings, you acknowledging your skills and your creativity. You're teaching yourself how to get over. Overcoming is part of your process because of the disappointments from the past. So because of you being fearful for what happened before, you tend to block your blessings for the fear of moving too fast and being limited and falling short. You can pick up the speed because the rewards are coming, but you still got to learn through every level. So look at it like this. Every level has a key. And once you open it, you got to get the next key. Then you go up another level. Then you got to get the next key and you go up another level. Okay? So stay peaceful because you have peace on your journey. Stay knowledgeable because you're learning on your journey. Control your emotions because as you can see, they're high. But every level is a learning experience. So before you look for the key for the next level, what is the message from that level? Because like I said, in order for you to move forward, you have to solve each level. Consider it like an escape room with different levels. So when you focus on getting to the next phase, you have to listen for the message, apply it to your life, get the key, and climb to the next level. So even if you're frustrated, you're tired, you're overwhelmed, take a break, take a breather. But you still got a ways to go to get to where you want to be. And at the end of it all, you can turn and look back and say, I did that. I did that. But the sweat is dripping down your face. That's the sweat equity. It's about putting the work in. Don't look at anybody else. Be accountable for yourself and say, you know what, self, Sag, I'm exhausted. I'm not seeing my achievement. But you are because you're not on the first level anymore. You've already climbed to the next level because you found the key, because you understood the message. So every level is going to be the same, but a different process. And each key will open that level up for you to get the message, for you to pick the sense out of nonsense. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, Sagittarius. But you know what? You're strong. You're accustomed to work. You don't take work lightly. You apply yourself accordingly. So even when people can't see how you're leveling up, as long as you see it and you recognize it and look at it for what it is, you'll continue to grow. But if you have a seed and you plant it and it starts sprouting out, that's a way to measure things. That's a way to measure. You're not where you started from. There's some growth that's taken place. So acknowledge that and stop looking at yourself as not getting through. You're getting through, maybe not at the pace that you would like, but once you get the message and you get the key, keep going, because there's speed here. You are ready to take off. You're ready to take off. You sit on your horse and you ride to your next level. You ride to the next level. It's a lot of work. Believe that, but you will get through. Believe it. Believe it. Garnetqueentarot here saying peace and prosperity, and thank you for stopping by the channel. Take care. Talk soon.